YouTube Zodiacs, what's good? It's your boy KashDaGemini back with another video. Back with episode 8 of the Cashing Out Show. Man, it feels like it's been a long time since, last week was a holiday and we didn't have episode 8 that week. But today we are brought to you guys with Joe, aka Vane21. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me, and thanks for everybody that's watching.
Yeah, man. Really excited for this one. Like a couple people on here was it was one of those things where it's like I can't wait to get to these people, and you were one of them. I knew it was gonna be towards the end of the year. That's why I was like, hey, man, hey, just keep waiting, man, just keep waiting. So really excited to have you here.
Just happy to make the top 10.
Top, hey, hey, speak. Okay, I'll swing back full circle about the top 10 a little bit towards the end of the show, but definitely had to get you in the top 10. So before we get started today, let's go ahead and say hi to the people out there. First of all, casual on any stream, I'll be the first person to always say first. So the very first comment was actually this guy right here. Hey, Cash, show yourself. Show yourself. This guy. What's good, Elijah Mack? Appreciate you being here. Dennis Perez, what's good, man? Edwin, man, always here, man. Here. Appreciate you. Definitely, man. Edwin's always here. We got Mike in the building. What's good, man? Archangel, what's going on, man?
What's up, Ark?
Terry, how's it going, man? Appreciate you being here. Toy Quest 101, what's good, man? What's good?
Also in the top 10.
Also in the top 10, man. Like I said, okay, let's just go ahead and cut to the chase. All right, so the top 10. What we gonna do is I'm gonna get with the guys. Anybody who's been in episode 1 through 10. I've kind of told a couple of the people, and in our holiday episode, which should take place the 16th, barring everybody's schedule, we're gonna go ahead and bring everybody back. So it'll be Casual, Dennis, John the Everyday Collector, Toy Quest 101, Vane21, Rome, Victor, Todd, Spec Fiction. We're gonna try to bring everybody back, and I'm hoping next week. I'm hoping if I can get somebody from DCX. So I'll let you guys know, and we'll make it happen. But I'm just excited for everybody to be here. What's good, J Rod? Appreciate you being here as well. Sweet Danny Lee, man. Sweet Danny Lee. Man, Skills, what's good? I appreciate you being here as well. So Joe, I'm gonna start with this one because I've been kind of thinking this for a while actually, and the name is Joe, but the handle is Vane21. So you gotta walk us down that first of all. Like, were you 21 years old when this happened?
No.
Your birthday's on the 21st.
Nope. 4th. 21. I've talked to Dennis about this. Favorite baseball player, Roberto Clemente, wore 21. So I wore 21 for all the sports I did. I played baseball a long time and dabbed in some other sports and just always rocked the 21. So that's where the 21 came from. Vane, anybody that's watched Black Sails, big fan of Charles Vane.
Okay.
Just decided to mash them up, and that's what I got.
Okay. Late night. What's going on, man? Appreciate you being here. So you couldn't know 34, the number 34.
Peyton.
Whoa. David Ortiz. Put some respect on his number now. Put some respect on his number.
Oh, okay. I went football. Sorry.
David Ortiz, man. Yeah.
I've got no problem with Big Papi.
That's right, man. That's right. Well, world champion.
Yeah.
He was a world champion, man. Nah, man. I mean, for me, like I said, the cash part, somebody in high school had given it to me randomly, so kind of just ran with that part ever since. So, but hey, nothing wrong with the with the baseball there. And speaking of baseball, you have mentioned you're a Pittsburgh person.
Yeah.
But you're in Ohio, so.
My dad's from over there, and for
Okay.
a while growing up, we lived really close to Pittsburgh. So, I Steelers, Penguins, and I take the Pirates too. So. They've been no good for my life, but
Yeah.
take it through and through. And yeah, he's gone long before me, but
Well,
yeah,
geez, Jerry, that's pretty all right. That's pretty pretty dark, but it's all good, man. So, man, if we can just take a trip down memory lane, just a cruise, so we can dial that time clock back, Michael J. Fox style, and just take us back to I'm gonna say 10-year-old you. When you
okay.
were 10 years old, what were you into?
Sports memorabilia. Sports were big for me growing up, so if you went back to 10-year-old me's room, it was probably covered in like Sports Illustrated for Kids posters and bobbleheads and baseball cards.
Man, so nothing really comic related.
No, I didn't really get into comics probably early 20s, maybe. I mean, I always liked the Batman movies growing up, but I grew up in the 90s, so we still had we grew up with like Val Kilmer and George Clooney. So
Yeah.
I remember when I watched Batman Begins, I actually hated it. I was like, why is it so serious? This is so dark. And then as get a little bit older and understand that like that's how Batman's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Not supposed to have Arnold as Mr. Freeze type deal.
So you didn't like Arnold as Mr. Freeze, or
Oh, I was fine with it, but you look back at those '90s ones, and they're definitely a little comedy twist to them, where
yeah.
the Bale trilogy was more comic accurate, we'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it Jim Carrey though. I thought that was spot on, for Jim
Yeah,
Carrey.
and those will
But
always have a special spot in my heart, just because that's what we watched as kids. I mean,
yeah,
we're the
of
same
course,
age, so
yeah.
I guarantee those are the ones you watch too.
Yeah. So who's your favorite Batman and who's your favorite Joker from the movies?
Bale and Ledger.
Really? So none of the
Yeah,
90s Batmans made the list.
I mean they're on the list. They're just you asked my favorite, so those would be my favorites.
Yeah. I mean, does anybody ever say Clooney?
Um, no.
Because
Uh,
even in the statue world, it's like no one's ever like, give me a Clooney.
yeah, I would probably even if we just went '90s, I'd probably take Kilmer over Clooney.
Wow.
He just had a little more. I think he was a little smoother, but just my opinion.
Okay, so if you could only have one, would you take a Jim Carrey statue or would you take an Arnold statue? And you have to pick one of them as your movie one fourth.
Ooh, I guess I don't think an Arnold would be all that different than the sideshow one that's sitting right there. I think he'd have a lot of blue piping on him, so I'm not sure how different
Yeah.
it'd be. And since we've never seen a Riddler, I think I'd go with Jim Carrey.
See, I'm thinking the Arnold might just have a little bit more ice, and obviously the portrait will be different. But
Yeah.
yeah, um, I really want to see a dang, I was thinking of the guy's name, who played the Joker in the Adam West Batman. I think that would be pretty cool.
Iron Studios did one. I don't think anybody else has done one
Nah, I mean that's 1/10, so yeah,
where he refused to. Was it refused to shave his mustache, so they had to paint it white?
yep. Hey, you never know, man. It's crazy. So Edwin says Clooney says that he ruined the movies, but Bob Kane's favorite Batman was Val Kilmer. Hmm. I mean, hey, to each his own, man. Yeah, Caesar Romero. That's right, man. Couldn't even think of like slip my tongue that quick, man.
Good
Appreciate
job,
you,
Luke.
Luke. Man, Luke. Hey, Luke be on it, dude. Luke be on it, man.
Gonna have the
So,
fact checkers here tonight. Luke and Jerry are both here.
oh yeah, man. We better be on our P's and Q's, man. Hey, I'm gonna start googling stuff before I ask it just to make sure. Nah, man. So, even so, if we're speeding up, So we're going from 10-year-old you, and we're coming to the adult version of you, and we'll get back to you as a wee lad, younger than 10, but present day you. When you look back at everything you were into from being a kid to now, could you imagine what we have today? Like when it's the weekend, let's just say you got a 3 or 4 days off from work, or this is your vacation week or whatever. When you go to your room, do you ever open that door and you just kind of hit with like, dang, I got comic books, I got omnibus, statues, art prints, whatever the individual may have, and you kind of like I never would have thought this by growing up watching the Batman 90s animated cartoon, that I would actually have a Batman and Robin.
You don't
Never
even have
would've
to go
thought
back that far. Like if you asked me 12 months ago from now, like, hey, you're going to have statues behind you that cost X. I'm not going to say online. Or like that's how much it all is. I'd be like, you're crazy. I'd never spend that on it.
Yeah.
Like there's no way I'd ever own a statue that costs that much.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's crazy to think that there are statues out there like that Iron Man, that life size. What was that, 10,000 or something like that?
I
Or
think 11.
that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's
That's
sold out.
that's some people's cars, dude.
Oh yeah.
That's some people's cars, man. Like that's crazy. Like, could you imagine like an 18-year-old is like, "Hey dad, hey son, you want that I'm going to get you a pre-owned Chevy Impala or something as your first car." And they're like, "Nah, I want that Iron Man, for my graduation present."
There might be a kid out there that says that.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
But it's definitely cool. A big perk is that like these,
What's up,
for the
John?
most part, hold their value versus other habits. I don't know. My wife spends a lot on clothes. Once she buys them and wears them, and now they're worthless.
Oh, Joe, we're going to keep you on tonight because you might get in trouble.
She might be watching.
Yeah, she might be watching.
She's watched me cycle some collections, and they pay for themselves for the most part, and it's good.
So speaking of the wife, what did she think when you first moved up to the premium formats? Just because obviously the price difference versus something bigger and smaller.
It was her fault.
Really?
100%. 100% her fault. I probably would have fallen down the rabbit hole anyways, but I watched Chris the BSC do his live unboxing of the Iron Studios Joker, the 1/3. And I was commenting on there, and he read a couple of my comments out loud, and then I loved the statue and watched it probably 2 more times over the weekend. And my wife was just sitting there next to me. She's like, "Just buy it. Like, you clearly love it. Just buy it."
So are you saying Mrs. Vane21's a enabler?
Yes. We enable each other.
And someone is in the building. No,
Yes. We know what makes the other one happy. We don't stand in each other's way. We're there supportive.
all right, man. I hear you. No, honestly, I think that's pretty cool when you do have, a couple, even if it's the earlier stages of a relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, husband, wife, whatever. I think that's pretty cool. Like when 2 people do have, that passion, or even if the other person isn't passionate about it and they just are supportive, or they're like, hey, I don't think that's too bad of a price, or, because like I said, she doesn't care too much about this stuff down here, but she'll help me hang up pictures and,
Yep.
things like that. So that's just her way of supporting. And, she knows I like, streaming with you guys and meeting other people in the community and things like that. So, just things like that are pretty supportive. And, so yeah, it's pretty cool, man. It's definitely cool.
Yeah, I mean, she's not scouring Collector Zone with me on the website or anything, but if I get in a new... I mean, she sat in here the other day and helped me unbox the Catwoman, and she thought it was really cool and thought it was nice where I put it. Then she walks out. So
You know what's crazy? Like, as you get older, like, have you ever done this? Like, you go outside and you cut your grass, right?
Yep.
And then you come back in. Have you ever been like, hey, how does that yard look? Are you guilty of that? Because I've done that. I'm like, hey, does the yard look nice? Like I need that confirmation. I'm like, oh yeah, I did cut the grass right. And that's the same thing I do with the statues. I'm like, hey, I put the predator right. It looks good, right? Like it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, my room's right off the living room, so everybody's walking by anyways. And if I change something, I'll ask her or be like, "Hey, I just hung those two prints, 2 days ago or something like that." It's like, "Hey, I hung
Yeah.
those prints up," and she came in, look great.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So did she think you were crazy with the installing the lights?
No, she thought it was great. She knew
Really?
the problem, how the statues weren't lit up behind me well, the backlight. She knew it was irritating me. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I was the one crawling around the crawl space or the attic.
I'm about to say, oh, that's where the boxes are at, or that's
The boxes are downstairs in the crawl space.
okay. Because that would
The
have been
attic
pretty
doesn't have
funny.
much.
Let me move these out the way so I can hang on some lights.
No, the only boxes up in the attic are the arcade boxes that honestly I probably didn't even need to keep, but I tossed them up there because even in Ohio, I mean, you get some hot summers and cold winters, and I don't know how that would do with the art boxes and whatnot.
Yeah, for me, I tend to throw away all the art boxes. I always keep two of them just in case you happen to randomly sell one. So I always keep two of those boxes just in case, because God forbid, I sell the Thor art print and somebody's like, why does this say Batman Beyond? It's like, it's literally just a box, dude. This isn't like a statue box where it actually matters. It's just the art print box, dude. Because all they put in is a bunch of bubble wrap. That's all they do. And then like they put like another brown slipper around the bubble wrap that's inside of the art print. So like the box itself doesn't even say the name of the artwork. It has a sticker on it that says the name of it.
Yep. Yeah, all that stuff's down in the basement.
Yeah. Oh man, dude. Pime, what's good, man? I appreciate you being here, dude. Appreciate you being here. We got Walton in the building. Brenton over at part of the CW people over there. I appreciate you coming through, Brenton. Appreciate
Thanks
that,
everybody
man.
for coming.
Yeah, everybody, man. Always ask my opinion, doesn't always take it, but always, yeah, that sounds like Joe right there, man. You know what I've learned about you, man, is you're kind of like you've mastered being blunt, but without being aggressively direct. You know what I mean? Like
That is not the first time I've heard that in a roundabout way.
but like not in like a mean way, kind of like,
I don't want to waste
like,
anybody's time.
yeah, like you're like, hey, do you like pizza? I mean, yes, I like pizza. Where you're, you know what I mean? Like it's not like up front, like yeah, I like pizza, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's crazy, man.
I'm trying to think of something. Mrs. Vane, if you have an example, I'd be kind of curious to know which one I didn't go with that you said. If we see her pop back up in the chat, if you can think of a statue that you said go this route and I went the other one, you let me know.
Yeah.
But I usually ask, even ones that I don't buy. I'll like the Tweeterhead Flash. They had the exclusive and the regular and the picture together. Good. And at dinner last night, I just asked her and our daughter. I was like, "Which one do you like?" And they both told me, and it was just a curiosity question. Just like, I'm not gonna buy it, but it's still good to hear other people's opinions.
Yeah, and I mean that's no different than like being on and just kind of talking about it or whatnot. It doesn't always mean we're gonna buy that individual piece, but it's sometimes cool just to kind of get other people's feedback and stuff. It's not a piece I'm gonna buy just because it's 1/6, and that's actually a great segue. But it seems like we've kind of taken fairly similar paths with collecting. I too fell down that 1/6 hole. But it seemed like we both we didn't, like, the quicksand didn't get there because we could have, but we didn't. And I ended up selling off what I had. Sounds like you did something similar. Is there a reason why you decided not to go 1/6 all the way? Because it would have been a tad smaller.
I don't even know if you can count like I tripped on 1/6, fell on my face, and kept running because I had 1/10, pre-ordered a couple 1/6, and then had moved to 1/4 before I even got a 1/6 in hand, and have basically like arranged their sales before I even got them. The thing that got me, I jumped to 1/6 because I really liked the Tweeterhead Ivy, and I really liked the Tweeterhead Joker. But then the Scarecrow came out, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna get that one. But then the premium format was only like $100 more, and it was 1/4, and you get that sweet base. And I had already liked the Bane, so that's how.
Scarecrow, you say?
Yeah. Well, there was only one option once we went 1/4. They just didn't like him because he was scary, and we know the Batman Who Laughs that hadn't shown up yet. She would have voted. She would have voted against it. We had conversation on the Catwoman, but we went with the Catwoman we all agreed on, which was that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the 1/6. I jumped to the 1/4 because the premium format was only like $100 more for the quarter scale than the 1/6.
So do you find that 1/6 are just like they're not, because I found that it wasn't small enough to actually warrant going 1/6. Like they still took up just as much room as a 1/4 from Sideshow, in my personal opinion.
It depends on which one. The Ivy was going to fit in a DTOF. She was going to take up a whole shelf. But the Joker, I didn't know where I was going to put him at the time because he wasn't going to fit anywhere. His base was huge.
Well, I mean, I guess I was talking XM Studios 1/6, so I mean that might be why.
Okay, yeah, I'm not too
But if you're going
with
Tweeterhead, like that Flash shouldn't take up too much room.
No, it was hit or miss. But at the time, I didn't have all this set up back here. So I only had like DTOFs and little shelves. And that's where like Ivy would have fit, but Joker wasn't going to. And Scarecrow wasn't going to. And so I was already running into problems there. And then, yeah, the price pushed me to 1/4.
Yeah, I will say that I didn't think the price was too far off. Like you said, maybe $100 to $200, depending on the company or individual piece. And I didn't feel the footprint itself was too big of a difference for me to be like, oh, 1/6 over 1/4 or vice versa. So it was pretty cool, man.
Well, when I jumped in with the Ivy, I think Ivy was only like $340, and it was like, okay, that's reasonable. I can get into a line for that much. And then Joker came out at like, I think it was almost 600, if not 600. And I was like, okay, maybe this is a one-time thing, and it's worth it for Joker. And then Scarecrow came out at like 560. I was like, okay, maybe this isn't a one-time thing.
Yeah, gotcha. So with all the statues that you have now, is there anyone that you just had to have? Like, what's that one statue that you just had to have, whether you were the biggest fan of it? Obviously, you've mentioned Swamp Thing, but it's not one that you currently do have. So is there anyone that you actually have that kind of fits in that category?
I guess sneak peek to the Mount Rushmore. The Joker, the Iron Studios Joker was a must-have because the cut-off face. One that took me a while to track down was the Iron Studios Nebula. So I think that would fall into answering that question. It took me a while, and I actually had to like pay a little extra to get her out of a guy's collection.
So speaking of the paying of the extra, do you happen to have a certain cutoff limit for yourself, or is there, or does it kind of depend on how far gone we are from the piece being from retail? Like something that's maybe, I don't know, 5 years old, but you really want it. Like, is there a
Are we
difference
talking like
between
percentage over like? I mean, like the Nebula, I think originally retailed at like 99, and I think I paid 200 for her. So I paid like double the price.
I guess I mean, like, if something retails at $500 for Sideshow, we'll just say like a Dracula statue, for example. So Dracula's $500 when it first came out. Let's just say 2 years has passed. it was really popular. Everybody loves Dracula. Now on the aftermarket, you see most people are selling it for 950, but all those are sold. The
Mm-hmm.
next one you see is 2750. Somebody's trying to price gouge because they know it's the only one that's being sold right now. Do you feel like those like that stuff is kind of cool or not really?
I mean, they always say like, what is it, like it's worth what somebody will pay. I think pushing the ceiling that much, I don't appreciate, especially if I'm the buyer. Nor as a seller would I ever push the ceiling that far. But like if the next person had it up for like 1100, I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, you're raising a little bit. I could probably justify a jump like that, but not from like 9 to 27.
So you're the type of person that's kind of like that patience. Let me just be patient. It'll come along.
Yeah, especially with, I mean, as we're entering the second phase of our collecting of
Oh man.
statues, we're starting to learn like there's always new ones coming out. So for Swamp Thing,
But I want it
this
now. No.
I want it now, but like the sideshow one's nice and everybody loves the base. But the sellers are all wanting like the XM price, and it's like, well, I'll just buy the XM one then. And
Yeah.
it's like in my head, if I could find it for like, I mean, people are gonna laugh, but if I found it for like $500 or $600, I'd buy it. But otherwise, if you're gonna charge the same as the XM, I'll just wait for the XM one, and maybe
Yeah.
track that one down.
Yeah. Gotcha, man. Um. So one of the very first questions that I do want to get to a little bit earlier, and I always will ask, like I say every time, I always ask the Family Guy question, what grinds your gears, just a present tense. Now you know. It could be anything you want to think of, whether it's the streaming part of the community, the watching, the collecting. Is there anything that honestly just grinds your gears that now you want people to know?
I should have thought of this ahead of time. I should have known this one was coming. Um,
Joe, if you need a second, I can get something off my chest. No,
Feel free if you got something, spit it out.
no, the more and more I'm like in certain groups and I'm looking and I'm kind of just reading stuff as I'm like browsing through. You'll see somebody say, "Hey, I'm selling Jeepers Creepers," or "I'm selling Big Game Predator, mint condition art box round shipper." Cool. The next thing you hear is, "Hey man, how much?" And the next thing you see is, "PM me for details." Now, the PM me for
Yeah.
details on one end, it's like, I get it. On the next end, it's like, dude, if it's 600, just say 600.
Yep.
Because 3 out of the 4 people that you say PM me, they never PM you. They
Yep.
never PM you because why? Because they'll say, hey, why couldn't you just tell me now? Or they forget, or it's too much work. Pressing the extra button is too much work. So, dude, just say the price, and especially if you're gonna cover shipping yourself already, if it's 600, it's 600, man. So I just have to get that off my chest, man. That was just grinding my gears, man. Just seeing it so much, man. If you're trying
Yeah.
to sell something, sell it, man.
The buy sell market has its perks and it's got its flaws. Um, yeah, that's one. Or when they say looking for this for a reasonable price, and it's like, well, the market's the market. Like, what do you consider a reasonable price? Or when people try and get it for retail, and that's not even happened to me, but you'll see people like arguing in the comments about it.
Yeah. No, a lot of people do that. Or they'll be like, hey, what's this going for nowadays?
Oh, here, okay. I thought on my own. Now I'll have my original grind my gears.
Oh, boy.
People, I've watched a particular listing on eBay. So you had the Batgirl variant come out that was 150. The dude bought it, immediately had it on eBay, and I think it was like $600 on Sideshow. Immediately
Oh,
had it
yeah.
on for like 1,200, and I'm just like, okay, nobody likes a flipper, especially that fast. And I've watched it, every week he's dropped it like $50. Like he's just gonna bleed it out. But it's just like, you
Yeah,
clearly didn't want it. Like, I don't know. That's just kind of a dick move to me, especially when it's that limited. Like, let people
yeah,
get it that actually want it or wanted a Batgirl.
yep. So I think it's safe to say you're not a collector who collects to sell. You collect for what's going to you.
Correct. I buy things that I want. Now, in 6 months, if they announce something that I want more than a couple of these Iron Studios, I might sell a couple to cover that cost. Or if a new, I don't know, pick one of these comes
Yeah,
out behind me and I'm like, well, I like the new one, so I'm going to sell the old one to get the new one. But no, I don't. Buying for investment just causes too many headaches.
yeah, yeah. I agree, man. I agree. So man, just taking a step back again. When you were growing up, was there anybody in the household that was into any of these characters today that you do like? And if so, like, how did that kind of play an impact on potentially what you watch, whether that was a DC show or a Batman show or even movies, or not Batman, but Marvel?
Not really in my house. I mean, I grew up, Star Wars topped
Star
my
Wars.
childhood. If we're going like pop culture stuff, like
Yeah.
Star Wars was it for me. So, I mean, I watched superhero movies with my friends and stuff. They actually all went Marvel,
Okay.
where I went Batman. Batman was always my favorite, and I always liked Batman Beyond. I like Terry McGinnis.
Really, really. I really like the animated show. That was about it for me.
The animated show was good. I didn't watch it too much as a kid, but the Batman Beyond hit right at the right time for me.
Yeah, yeah, man. Wham, bam, pam. No, I was playing.
Adam
That's
West is
crazy.
a got a vintage flavor to him. That's not my cup of tea, but I know that's a lot of people's Batman. That was just he was the Batman of the times.
Yeah, man. Definitely was, dude. Definitely was. I say from like for myself, growing up, I feel like in the '90s, like it was so many things, whether they are statues today or not. Like obviously, you had Men in Black. There was Men in Black movies, the Men in Black cartoons, the Men in Black video games. They even had, obviously, a couple of toys they had in like Kmart, Toys R Us, Walmart, things like that. Um, there's so many different things that we had from that time period. Jurassic Park, things like that. Were any of those classical movies or shows ever resonate with you? Even if you wouldn't be a collector of that type of stuff.
Jurassic Park was big. I was a big Jurassic Park fan. Had a Jurassic Park birthday. But I'm telling you, Star Wars was my child. It was like play baseball till dark, and then Star Wars. Like my mom took me to see Star Wars. I think the 20th anniversary. They had it back in theaters, so I was 7, and I had no idea what it was. And we went and watched episode 4 in theaters, and we left. And I was like, she was like, "Do you want to go buy the VHS?" I'm like, "What do you mean? We just saw it in the theaters. How's it already out on VHS?" She was like, "Well, there's actually 3 of them." I was like, "Hang on, like what?" Say what?
There's more.
There's
Right.
3 of these, and for a couple summers there, it was like Star Wars action figures and watching those on loop in the family room.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that was it for me. Uh, pretty pretty long there. Yeah, 1997. I think January. Like every 3 weeks, they showed a new one, and I remember my mom had said I was only allowed to watch episode 4 until we went and watched the next one in theaters. She wanted me to see them each in theaters, and I didn't make it. I made it like a weekend, and was like, "We got to watch the next one," and then that Hoth snow battle to open episode 5, and it was just like,
Yeah, man. Like, when I look back at certain stuff, for me it was I'd probably say it was the Jurassic Park movies as well as Brandon Fraser mummy movies. Just
I don't
where
know
I
why
could
people
watch
hate on
those.
those. Love those.
Dude, I could put them in over and over.
Yep.
And my I was telling my grandma, my great grandma, I'm like, hey, need the VCR, and my grandpa, he went to the pawn shop, picked me up a VCR, and once I had that VCR, dude, it was over, man. Jurassic Park every day,
Yep.
Mummy, uh, that was it for me. I was
Yep.
never into Star Wars or Star Trek or anything like that myself. Besides the video games, because I always thought the video games were pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Being able to, beat up the stormtroopers and stuff like that. That was always pretty cool for me. But besides the video games, I never really was in it from a movie or present day TV show perspective. But it's something I kind of want to start watching just to give it a fair chance, because I can't say I don't like it, because it's something I've never actually sat down to watch. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's something I do want to actually give a try.
They're good. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna always have the sentimental attachment to the Star Warses. But yeah, Jurassic Park. That love Jurassic Park.
Like, dude, you gotta like give things a try sometimes. Like, I just randomly started listening to ACDC like a year ago. I can't get enough now, man.
Good, great band.
I'm like, oh man, Thunderstruck, baby. But yeah, man, it's crazy, dude, crazy.
Yep.
I don't know. So speaking of that, real quick, Iron Studios is doing Elvis, right?
Yep.
And then obviously PCS did Prince.
Yep.
Is there any band or individual musician that you would love to see a statue made of? And if so, what scale and what company?
Let me preface this by saying that I would never buy it. So I'm not sure this really
Is this
matters. I'm
Gene
trying to think.
Simmons? No,
I mean, AC/DC is probably one of my top favorite bands. Single artist. I don't know. I'm not a big music. I mean, I listen to the radio, but I don't like buy
you
music.
you don't think Kiss would be like a really cool statue?
Sure, but they've already got to have like 50. The Kiss has everything. I guarantee you, if we eBay Kiss statues on here, you'll find them.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You don't have to search hard for those. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's a cop out. I mean, I listen to sports talk and books on the radio. Like, not too much music crosses my radio.
Dude, look at the chat, man. So we're getting a new edition 1/6 scale. We're getting
Yeah.
more statue Wu-Tang.
Jerry, Justin Bieber.
All right.
Jerry,
All right.
you can probably find that too.
Yeah, never mind. Michael Jackson.
That would be her pick. Hey, give it time. They'll probably make one. I haven't shown you the Prince one. She'll start statue collecting.
Even Chasen says Michael, Steve, and Joe. What the heck? Joe, like Papa Joe, like
I think
Michael
he's just
Jackson's
saying.
dad.
I think he's just saying what's up.
Oh, okay. Oh, God. I'm like Michael Jackson's dad. Like, what? Oh man, I had a perfect joke waiting for that one, dude.
Some people join late, Cash.
Yeah, Hey, I didn't know where it was going with that. Oh man, dude, I'm like the collector's edition, man. Never mind. Let me stop, man. Let me stop. All right, beautiful people, man. Just bear with me real quick here. I'm gonna pull up some pictures. Joe, you definitely have a lot of cool stuff to share, man. So let me bring these on for the beautiful folks out there. Man.
Yeah, this is a part of the basement, part of the Star Wars collection. Growing up in the '90s, that's the era that I collected. I don't have too much vintage stuff, but the Power of the Force 2 stuff is what was coming out. So that's some of it. You'll see a lot more in my basement, I imagine, in the next couple pictures.
If I must say, I can only see a slither at the bottom, but look at that beautiful hardwood floor. If I must say, look at that beautiful hardwood.
Put that down myself.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's not hardwood. It's like a vinyl laminate.
Oh,
but
look, you take the compliments when you can get them, man.
I finished the basement, so
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Oh man, we're really jumping around on pictures here.
Yep, we are jumping around. Oh man. So take me to this art print because if I'm not mistaken, I did see this art print before myself, and the poison ivy mostly looked it very different.
This is my first art print. I know Miss Vane is still watching. This was an anniversary gift, so thank you. This was a must-have for me because The Long Halloween is my favorite Batman story, and
Oh,
this was the art print for that. And this is toward the end of the book where they're all kind of ambushing, and Batman comes down through the roof right there. That's one of the Easter eggs. The ivy is a little different, and honestly, that's not my favorite Catwoman. I'm more of a black suit versus the purple,
yeah.
but the print, nevertheless, Long Halloween sideshow. I don't imagine they're going to be making anymore, so this was a must-have for me.
Nah, yeah, it definitely looks great. Mad Hatter and Solomon doesn't get too much love.
Neither does Two Face.
Yep,
He's
Two
hit.
Face back there.
Yep. No Mister Freeze, but he wasn't in it. It's just a really good. It's a good trade paperback or comic run. I love that it goes back to like the detective version of Batman. He's trying to
Yeah.
solve the murders. You're trying to figure out who the murderer is. Got some twists in there.
Did you actually watch the both parts?
I have not, and the reason is I am waiting. I have to assume they're going to come out with a deluxe that's one part. I love the DC animated movies. Marvel kicks DC's ass when it comes to real action or live action movies, but the animated DC is by far the better.
Oh,
And
hands
with
down.
the Dark Knight Returns, they did part one, part two, and then they did a 4 hour deluxe. And I'm really hoping they do that for Long Halloween. I probably won't be able to hold out much longer, so I'm hoping they announce it soon. Whenever they do that, or if I buckle, I will get both parts. It's definitely something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like I said, this is a great art print right here. It does look pretty cool, and I like the fact that it is pretty diverse on the characters as well. You're not getting the same original 5, 6, 7 characters that we always get. I like that they threw in a couple ones, and then also that they really changed the way the characters themselves look. Kept everything similar, such as coloring, but looks really good.
Some people don't like Tim Sale's art. I do. It's definitely different, but I just was a big fan of the
Yeah,
books, and I'm not. I don't mind his art at all. So
yeah, definitely, man, definitely. So this Joker right here, I mean, going back to what you had said earlier, when I first watched Junior unbox this, I was blown away by it, and I still go back to the base myself. For me, it's the base is perfect on what kind of represents Joker in my personal opinion. For you, like what made you honestly grab this? I know you spoke on it earlier, but like, what was the number one thing about this statue that you said I have to have it, even though it's 1/3 and not the 1/4 I'm used to?
I'm gonna bullet point a couple things, but the number one thing was the Capullo head, the cut off face. I'm a big fan of the New 52. I loved the death of the family
Great animation
storyline,
movie. Yep.
and the the cut off face. I don't think too many statue companies are going to do that. I know Iron Studios has one coming out, but obviously it's going to be
Yeah.
1/10.
One
So
tenth. Yeah.
I guess this was Iron Studios too. I don't look for anybody else to make a detailed version this good. Second off, I liked the fact that it comes with actually a really good regular Joker head too. So if I want to switch it to that one, I can have a traditional Joker. And then third, the overall pose for this Joker, it's like a showman pose, and that makes sense for Joker for me. He's like, "Here's my grand plan. Let me show you."
Now, doesn't he come with multiple switch outs though as well?
He does. That backhand can also hold cards, and the
Yeah,
front hand can hold a gun, a bang gun, or the mallet. And I prefer nothing in the front hand.
really.
Yep. And funny enough, and this is kind of what led me to buy it. Not led me to buy it, but this was part of the cool thing. When Chris was unboxing it, he had the mallet in his hand. And I said on the stream, you should take the mallet out, and he did it. Everybody liked it. And actually, if you look in his in the Batcave now, I think he has it displayed just like this with nothing in the front hand.
Yeah, crazy, man. I love the fact that they do give you those multiple switch outs. I think that's very cool. So you can kind of display it, of your choosing. It's
Yep.
always cool being able to have those multiple switch outs as well as double portraits as well.
Yep. And I like the portraits are so different on this one. You have some that's
Oh,
just like
definitely.
smiling or frowning or yelling, but this one being like so different. You really get two different Jokers.
So you don't like the normal head at all?
Oh, I like it. I just like this one more. This is I feel like if I packed this one away and put the normal one on, I would miss this one.
Man, that's crazy. I don't know, man. I mean, for me, I think the only difference is I think I keep the head, but I would have him with probably the mallet in the right hand.
Which is
But I
also
don't know.
fine. The mallet's
I like.
Harley to me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking though. I like the cards though, but I don't know.
The
I mean,
cards are cool, but the showman pose to me goes with the cane.
definitely, definitely, definitely,
But
man. And the way his cape, I said his cape. The way the way his suit is kind of tailored in the back too.
yep.
Yep, cool, man. So this next one here, Harley Quinn, Hell on Wheels, great one. You said this is a special family member's favorite statue.
Yeah, in one of your previous episodes, you asked what I forget who it was that was on. You asked what his wife's favorite statue was. So I just went ahead and asked my wife and my daughter what their favorites were, and my daughter Chloe said this is her favorite.
Is there any reason why, or is it just like the roller skates, or
Roller skates and it's Harley Quinn. I don't know.
yep?
If I brought her back in today, she might pick a different one. That day she picked Harley, so that's the one I went with.
I hear you, man. Might be Mr. Freeze tomorrow. Never know, huh?
She's 6, so
Oh man, that's funny. Or sad that I didn't. Um, I don't know. I feel like for Marvel, for me, I'm able to just like kind of nose dive in, but for DC, I'm more like, okay, let me make sure the hair is right, the paint, all, everything. I don't know why.
yeah.
And here is a better close up of that head, man. Yeah. Wow.
It's special for sure.
Wow.
Different
Yeah, and
color
this.
eyes.
Yeah, I was just about to say the eyes, man. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep, it's special. It's one of a kind for
Okay,
sure.
okay, so I kind of take that back. I get what you're saying now because, like when you actually see it up close, it's like, damn, you know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
It's just so different. And I said on a stream, I think with you, maybe on Tuesday on Casual Show, if they come out with a premium format Joker that I like, I would get that and put that one where the 1/3 is and move the
Later,
1/3
Britain.
over to the side.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. This is great. I think this was the great pickup, especially for this to be your first 1/3. Great, man. Great, man. So here's another picture here. Now, obviously, we see the statues and the artworks there, but
Hmm.
I'm taking a look back at kind of how you did uh, the setup. Is this like the podium style? What was really the thought process behind that? Because it's really well done, but it's something that doesn't just happen. You know what I mean?
No, I mean they're the Kalex stands from IKEA, but I didn't like the open square look, so I shell out the extra for all the doors. Even though I don't even keep anything in them, I just like the closed look. It looks cleaner to me. But I knew I wanted to tier it. I didn't want everything real low. It just came together. I bought two high in the back and then just a single high in the front, and then I actually have single highs that go down the sides of the room that I have DTOFs and arcades on.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, it looks really good, and it's crazy because, like, obviously, like, you see, Chris's, I mean, I guess you could say current dilemma. I'm not sure if it still is a dilemma or not, or he's going custom or whatnot, but I think this is actually perfect. A lot of people don't like this because they feel, it takes away from that, I don't know, 20 inches of space that they could have for, like, walking or something else, but I think it does give you a sleeker look, so statues aren't on the ground.
Yeah, I don't want any that low. I don't make eye contact with them that often. I find myself not looking at stuff, even when I had the DTOFs all the way on the ground. Whatever was on the bottom shelf was just not getting appreciated. So I wanted everything risen at least a little bit. And yeah, you walk in the room, you can see it all.
So do you feel that same way now? Now that nothing is on the floor, do you feel like you're able to kind of, see at eye level?
Yeah, I think you see everything,
Even the lower tier.
even the lower tier, because it's off the floor. I don't know.
Okay.
It's just like you walk in the room and you can see it. It's just got a better presence to it, in my opinion.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha, man. That's cool, man. And this right here is somebody else's favorite statue, and this is it's a evil lady right here, right?
Of all the statues in the room, this is Miss Vane's favorite. She came in and looked all around, and Hela was her pick. Iron Studios 1/10 from the Ragnarok wave. I bought this on a whim. It's a good deal. I got a bulk price, and the guy was selling. He needed to move a bunch of statues, and this one caught my eye, and she's fantastic. And this is one of the ones that I got lucky on, because it goes for a lot more now than retail.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially since this specific character doesn't have any other statues, whether it's movie or comic.
Nope. And it was really well done. She's got the headpiece is fantastic. The sword looks great.
Weapon, yep.
This is one of their mixed media capes. They did
Oh,
they did
wow.
mixed media for a little
Yeah.
bit. All the Ragnarok are mixed media. Moving around, that might be it that I have. They might have done some other ones, but this era, they were trying mixed media out.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Definitely, it's really good, man. I definitely like the paint of they kind of nailed the darker greens with the blacks very well, very well.
Yep.
Hey, like I said, man, Iron Studios is definitely they definitely getting better. No question about that.
Yep. They hit it out of the park on some other ones. Like even if they made a bigger one of this,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have shelled out for a premium format one.
Nah. You got to be like a either you really like this character or you're just like a Thor collector. So anything associated with Thor, you kind of you want in the collection.
Yep. And that's why all my Marvel are 1/10, because I can't afford or have the space for all of these characters to be of the larger scale.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hey, take us away on this one because this is beautifully set up, man.
More of the basement. What can I say? More 90s Star Wars. Took a while tracking all this down.
What kind of lights are those?
Those were puck lights. I've actually
Puck
since
lights, okay.
changed those out to another YouTuber, Big Dub. I got to talking to him, and he told me about strip lights and plugging them into smart plugs, and now I can just tell Alexa to turn it on. So But these were on a remote. I tried them out. I loved how it looked. This was it
Mm-hmm.
for a while.
Yeah, man, it looks exceptionally well. Looks exceptionally well. I mean, this is like the definition of utilizing every inch of space in there, but not too much to making a very great setup. You know what I mean?
Yep, space everything out. Uh, Pay a little extra to get some ship stands for the ships to not sit on the ground. You can see some there. The snow speeders up and the
Mm-hmm. Yep.
TIE bombers up, and you'll see some other ones that are and flying. It just makes it look better. So some people get stuck in the accumulation phase, but you gotta spend on your displays every once in a while. You gotta shell out for those stands or the upgraded lights. You
Yeah,
can't
you do, and you
just
know,
to help
acrylic
it
goes a
out.
long way, dude.
Yep, just a little
Long.
bit of a riser so everything's not on the same tier.
Yeah, yeah. And unfortunately, there's certain statues you have to get a little riser for. You know, a la Sideshow Galactus that'll be coming out.
Yeah, that happens from time to time.
Yeah, from time to time.
Yeah, this is over
I
across
have
from
a,
that.
I actually have a question. Who's playing Roblox here?
Well, notice I'm taking the pictures, so that would be Chloe playing Roblox. She was down there.
Cool, man. Cool. That's what's up, man. This is another great setup, man. Like I said, just it looks really clean. The flooring, the glass curios, looks clean, man. Looks clean.
Yeah, it's tough to beat DTOFs, man. I know they're not for like premium formats and stuff. People don't like them, and I get it because the weight. And even some Iron Studios, I'd be hesitant to because of weight. But for like action figures and toy collectors, they're great.
So how many pounds would you say one glass shelf you'd be okay holding?
I don't know. I don't. I mean, I've got Gladiator, Hulk, and Thor on one. They're not light, but they're not heavy. And those are the Iron Studios ones. Those are probably the heaviest I've got on there. But like, I would never put the Hulkbuster on it.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
I don't
definitely.
know. Somewhere 5 pounds maybe.
5 pounds. Okay. Now, what's this on the bottom shelf in the center of the room? What is this?
That is the HasLab sail barge. Crowdfunded, and that's another one that I backed, and it is worth a little more now than it was when I bought it.
Hey, that's cool, man. That's every collector's hopes, right? Is that what they buy either stays the same in value or vastly appreciates.
Yep, and for anybody that knows what that is, I did back the Razor Crest. It is coming, I think it's supposedly coming in January. That'll be the next big ship to land in the basement.
Cool, man. Cool. Cool. Dude, I mean, what did you do? Did you like find a Hallmark magazine or something like that, Home and Gardens or something, and just like, you know what, make this happen? This is clean, dude. I like this a lot.
Not to throw anybody else in my house under the bus, the two
Oh
cleanest
boy.
rooms in the house are definitely the basement collection room and the arcade collection room because those are my areas. It's not like an OCD thing, but I like my nice things to look nice, and I try not to clutter them up.
Okay. I'm yeah. Well, whatever. So she might be watching too. So, anyways, I'll say this though, man. Like, you know, the statue room and where the arcades are at. Oh, immaculate. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Immaculate.
Yeah,
Prestige. No dust. No,
yeah.
no
And
dust,
not
man.
that it's Mrs. Vane's fault. We have a 6-year-old. Kids are messy.
Kids. Hey,
So
yeah, kids are kids, man. Kids are kids.
yeah.
Nice. Nice.
First two statues ever for me.
Wow.
Those are the first two that showed up on March 12th of 2021. And I only know that because I looked at the picture info before we got on. So It's not
Damn.
like I like have that tattooed on my arm, but
Yeah.
yep, we were gonna go Marvel themed, and what better to start with than the moment? Since I changed Thanos' arm to the snap arm as well, so they're both snapping. But yep, this was the first of the statues.
So because these are 1/10 scale right here, do would you ever be able to look back and say I could collect nothing but 1/10? Because I'm pretty sure there's certain people out there that only collect 1/10, which is nothing's wrong with that. But like, do you think your collection would look the way you want it to look if that were the case?
I could be happy with it. I was happy with it, but once they joke all the time, like once you go bigger, you can't go back, and that's kind of the truth. It turned into Joker, and then it was like, okay, well, I can fit three together, and then it was like Bane and Freeze, and it's like, well, you got to have a Batman, and then it's like it goes on. And for me, it was easy to just wall it off at just Batman and villains or Gotham people, since I think I'll be getting the Huntress.
Oh yeah, I would. Oh yeah, I think you should get that statue, the premium format.
So obviously she's not a villain, and I
Yeah.
would get a Red Hood if they ever came out with one. But at the time when I had started, it was just supposed to be 1/10 and the arcade 1-ups. And I was going to be perfectly happy with that until I jumped a little bigger, and then now it's this.
Hey, nothing's wrong, man. Nothing is wrong.
But the price point on the 1/10 and the amount that you can get in a space make them really appealing. Like you can get the whole Justice League in one DTOF type deal.
Hey, so like, you see how you have both of these positioned?
Mm-hmm.
So in that corner, is there nothing there?
Correct.
What made you do that? And I'm asking for like, cause like that, like I see people do that with their garage shelvings. Like they try to like kind of get the two ends to mesh, if that makes sense, and they leave that corner empty. Is there a reason for that, or?
Well, in those cases, I couldn't fit two. I mean, you're not in the basement. All right, so you got the stairs coming down there on the right, and I can't fit two DTOFs there without overlapping with the other one going the other direction. So,
Okay, yeah.
and obviously you have to have the DTOFs to where they can swing open.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So that's how. But even if it was garage shelving, I wouldn't want the. No, if it was garage shelving, because I would want the top shelf to be usable.
Yeah.
Because that's where like you can't see there, but on the top I have a smaller glass shelf that goes, and that's what the Ewok village is sitting on. So up there it's not dead space at the top, but yeah, in the corner, it is, as you can see.
Yeah. Gotcha. Creative, man. Hey, when you're a collector, you definitely learn how to make the best use of whatever space you have, man.
So I ran out of DTOFs, and I actually catty cornered one there now, and now I have three.
Dude, even DTOFs have like went up in price too, like crazy.
They
Man.
are really hard to get right now. And I've heard they were discontinuing them, and then people panicked, and
What?
even I bought a couple of my friends just to make sure I had enough. I was like, "Hey, are you using those?" And they were like, "No," and I was like, "I'll give you money for them," just because I wanted to make sure I had enough, because I couldn't have like three black DTOFs and a white DTOF, like they all got to match.
Dude, and that's crazy you say that because I'm actually going to be going to IKEA like sometime this month or possibly next month, since it's like a 3-hour drive from where we are. And I'm going to grab like their other wall shelving things that they have that I like. So it's like no other store carries them. Like Home Depot
Yeah.
is completely out of the ones that I want for my Iron Studios. And it's like, I'm like, I was telling her, I'm like, dude, I better go ahead and buy like 10 of them just in case. Like,
Yeah,
just in case, man.
I know how it is. Cincinnati used to be the closest IKEA, and it was a 2-hour drive. Now we have one in Columbus. I
How
would
far is
definitely.
that? Like 30 minutes then, or?
Oh, I just have to jump on the freeway and slingshot around. I could probably be there. Yeah, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So it's not
Yeah.
bad, but yeah, check stock before you go, because
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
don't make that 3 hour drive for nothing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, when we go, we usually go grab some barbecue or something and, kind of make a little day trip and stuff and swing around. But it's definitely crazy the stuff we do for the hobby, man. Definitely.
You have no idea. There's been so many times where it's like, oh, I need one more Kalex and 4 shelves or like 4 doors, and it's just like, all right, Chloe, get in the car. We're going before Mom gets home from work.
Oh,
Just like
man, that's
I'll
crazy.
buy you meatballs or something there, like whatever you want while we're there.
That's everybody talks about the IKEA meatballs. That's
I
crazy.
They're not for me, but my wife and daughter will eat there.
I'm
They
gonna
have
try them
dinner
next time
there.
I go, just to try them. Just to try them.
Yeah. All right.
So,
This is the first time I actually traveled to buy statues. I drove a state to get these. You can see the Hela there. The
yep.
Loki was the one I was most going for. It was before I had Facebook, and I was just perusing my wife's marketplace. Every once in a while, I'd jump on, and I saw it, and I was like, "Dude, do you still have this?" And I literally confiscated her phone for like an hour and a half to message the guy in the basement, just back and forth. And we came to a price, and let's see, it was like a 4 hour drive. I just
So,
made it.
so looking back on that, do you feel like that was insane, or not? Not really. It's an experience.
No, it was fine. I mean, I left at like 6 a.m. on a Saturday and met him at like, I don't know, or like 10ish, and drove back and made a day of it. He gave me everything at like a stupidly good deal, and that Gladiator Hulk is one of my favorites. I wasn't even looking for it. I just wanted the Loki, and I just for kicks I was like, "Hey man, I don't have these other ones. What's your price on them?" And he was like, "Oh, for all of it, I'll do, I don't know, it was like $400." And mind you, just Loki and Hela each go for like 300 now, like 2 to 300. So it was like, okay, I'll make that drive.
It's crazy, man. It's definitely a pretty good haul right here when you look at the characters. Hawk, Thor, Loki, Black Panther, Hela. Right? Man, it's crazy, man. Like not pretty cool pickup, man. I
Yeah.
think the farthest yeah, I haven't drove because like I know for IKEA was just for the shells. As far as the actual statue, no. I mean, it could be because I'm in the middle of nowhere, but yeah, I haven't drove.
That was the only time I've driven. I think I've bought some other Iron Studios off like eBay and had them shipped, but that's the only time I've actually met someone to buy them.
Scuba Pete says greetings. What a haul, Joe.
Happy you showed up, Scuba. Scuba's from the toy community.
That's what's up, man. That's what's
Between
up.
between sports memorabilia collecting and statues, I was heavy into. Again, it was all Star Wars, but I was still in that community, uh,
Yeah.
so I know a lot of people over there.
Hey, Chasen says I'll make them drive to me. He said he ain't taking the drive. They gotta drive to him.
Well,
Yeah.
that if that works, that's great. It doesn't always work.
Yeah, dude. I know we're just looking at a different angle of this, but again, I think this is very clean, and uh, as another person who is very excited to have a basement and one I can truly call my own, this looks great, and keep it that way. Keep it
I
that way, cause
appreciate it.
yeah,
What's
it's
funny
great.
is it works great for the Star Wars stuff, and I've sat
Oh
down
yeah,
there
yeah,
and hypothetically thought like, how would the statues look down here? And I can't figure out. It would be terrible. Like they just wouldn't fit down there. Like the setup that I have behind me, there's no wall down there that would
yeah.
accommodate them correctly, and everything that I have displayed the way I do in the statue room, it would not go down there, and I don't think it could happen.
No, and I think for Star Wars, like you said, like even like the color of the walls, just the brightness, like everything is perfect the way it is, man.
I do have other lights down there. That's just how they. I do have can lights that I can turn on. It's not permanently that dim, but they photographed well like that.
It's all good, man. Oh, that's funny, man. All good.
First premium format was Bane.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if this is a kid in me or whatever, but the first thing I noticed was a candy earth. I'm sorry, I noticed a candy first.
The M&M machine, it's sitting right over there. Always
Yeah.
keep it stocked.
Do you have to put a quarter in, or
Nope, it's on free.
it's on free?
I'll go through binges where I'll just get a handful. I'll be eating it. We'll be getting ready. I'll take my daughter to school, and before I walk out, I'll get like 5 turns worth and just like go get in the car.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've done
That's
Reese's
crazy, dude.
Pieces, M&Ms.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, man, this now with this Bane here, do you feel like this Bane technically makes the Joker not a 1/3, not a true 1/3?
I don't care as much about that as it allows me to sneak the 1/3 Joker in.
Oh, so you actually like that?
It was my way. The fact that the Bane is that big makes the Joker not stick out as much. And as you can see behind
Yeah.
me, that's why I have them like there, is so they counter each other. And actually, we joke about risers. I have the Batman in the middle on about a 2-inch riser, so he's also up a little bit. Because if it wasn't for Bane, Joker would be. Get my fingers right here. You can see how much taller he is.
Right.
And without those three across, he would stick out. So I'm really happy that Bane's that tall.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, definitely. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I can't see. I canceled the Bane, and I still look at it all the time and just say like, man, dude, I kind of regret it. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but um,
It's the premium format, the 1/4 line. They've done some great ones. Bane and Freeze are two of my favorites.
yeah, definitely. That Mr. Freeze is still available. I still always look at it like maybe I should go ahead and pick it up. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
We talked about it the other day. Whichever scale you go with, you're gonna miss a couple on the other scale. But you just gotta pick one.
Okay, so here's a question for you then, right? 1/4, and we're just talking about DC here. So 1/4, all the amazing ones that there is. You know, you got Daniel Bell has a couple pieces in there, and for the most part, we're gonna just say sideshow for the most part. That doesn't bother you knowing, hey, if I do the 1/4, I'm probably gonna be able to fit in. Let's see, 20 potentially based on the size of the bases, etc., etc. So 20. But if I do 1/3, 12,
Why would that bother me?
because that's 8 more characters, 8 more statues you can have.
Which is good.
Right. But I'm saying on the flip side, if I do 1/3, I get less. But sometimes it's less more.
If you have the display space for the 20, it's fine to have the 20. You'd never want them like on top of each other.
Yeah, we've seen that.
And you're gonna miss some. Like I really like the Arkham Freeze. If you gave me the Arkham Freeze or this Freeze, the Arkham Freeze would get my vote. But this Freeze is perfectly fine, and I really like this Freeze. So I'm content with that. But you're gonna miss some if you go 1/4. There's gonna be a couple 1/3s that you're gonna have to pass on because they're just not gonna match in well. I got lucky that the Joker's a little, I guess, underscaled, and I can kind of squeeze him in.
Yeah, and I think Chasen has a good point. Like, that is kind of true because even for Marvel, I just don't find it being that hard. Like Predator, for example. Predators, they're like really big already, and they have a bunch of presence already. So you don't really care about the scale because they're already like the presence of them. It's always there. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just different.
And Predator's one, if you went 1/4 on everything else and 1/3 on Predator, Predator's
Oh yeah,
bigger than
yeah,
everybody anyways.
yeah,
And
exactly.
that's where with Swamp Thing, when I was
Yep.
debating on which one to get, I could go either because Swamp Thing can be big or little, whatever he wants to be. So if I went 1/3 with him and mixed him in, it wouldn't look out of place for his character.
No. So have you finally came to that determination of the Swamp Thing?
I mean, I haven't like shelled out dollars yet. Uh, I'm coming to the realization I'm probably not going to find the Sideshow one at the price I want.
Yeah.
The Prime one is crazy expensive, in my opinion.
Yeah.
To get it shipped, you're not going to find it for under $2,000. I know Jerry got one. He got a steal of a deal. I just can't assume I'm going to find a similar deal, which leaves me with currently I could order the XM one. I've never ordered an XM. I've never ordered international. We'll see if I actually pull the trigger. It looks really nice. I like the second torso way better than the first. The family voted. It was unanimous for the XM one. Everybody liked the XM one in the household better.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say at the moment, again, I haven't actually pre-owned anything. Unless something falls out of the sky, it's probably going to be the XM one if you ask me today.
Yeah. I mean, for me, ooh, I'm still just undecided, dude. Like, I really am. Like, I'm just undecided. Like, the only 1/4 that really speaks out to me is that Mr. Freeze. And maybe it's because that's the only comic Mr. Freeze that there is that's not 1/10, obviously. But that Mr. Freeze really stands out to me and looks good, man, you know?
But like, do you like the Bane better than the 1/3 Bane?
Oh, that 1/3 Bane I would not even buy. Like, it's a nice Bane, don't get me wrong. But that thing is just too damn massive, dude. There's no way I'm not gonna take up that much room for that
Yeah.
one statue. Like, I'm just not doing it.
I guess I keep forgetting that you're not like DC specific
Yeah.
where I am. So like you might have not even been considering Bane anyways.
Well, I mean, you also have to think like this is my second room, and it's not even. It's really a. It was meant to be a walk-in closet for clothes, but it's gonna be statues because I don't need it, so it's gonna just be that. But it's a smaller room, so it's like I don't have that much room in there, but I have enough to make it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's also why it's kind of like we'll make that happen. But for you, out of all the the whole time you've been in this hobby, what's the number one company for you, and why?
I've got to give it to. Oh, hang on. We're talking about like manufacturing company, not like statue provider.
I mean, it could be anything. Like, just like, who do you feel like you would give your business to? Whether it's a distributor, whether it's a company, like
Oh,
whoever.
okay. I give all my business to Collector Zone.
Hmm.
I order. Marcus is great.
Yep.
He'll talk to you about anything. The discounts that he offers. People get sticker shock when they go to his website. They're like, "Oh, prices are so high here," but they don't realize like tax and shipping are included there. Where everybody keeps complaining about like, "Oh, Sideshow, they're like $80 for the statue for this premium format." You've paid that with Marcus. Marcus has already told you like it's shipped to
Yeah.
your house for that, and
Yep.
then if you pay up front, you get 10% off, and he's always throwing out codes. So there's a lot of times where like a Sideshow statue is like $5.95
Yeah.
before shipping and tax, and I'm getting it delivered from Marcus for like $605. So,
Yeah.
so
And the shipping with him, we both can vouch that it's actually quicker than Sideshow too. So
yeah, if Marcus ships it, I get it the next day. You get it usually 2 days later.
yeah.
All my business that I can possibly give to Marcus goes to Marcus and Collector Zone. They're great. They're always running fundraisers. I think right now he's doing a Toys for Tots. You can either just donate for every $5 they toss a toy in. They just did pops for kids at the hospital. He's just a great guy. The company's great. If we're talking like manufacturer, I bought so many Iron Studios. I have to give it to Iron Studios. I love Sideshow, but
Yeah.
I've got 45 Iron Studios probably.
Yeah. If we're talking a retailer, um, if we're talking a retailer, I would say Collector Zone, spec fiction and sideshow. I can't I just can't say Prime One, dude. Like directly, I cannot do it, man. Like I can't fathom knowing that I've paid off something on November 8th and it's December now and like it still hasn't even shipped. Like I get it's gonna take months to come, but like I can't, and that's why I'm just like one and done. If the piece isn't on Sideshow or whoever else, then I just won't be getting it. Like I'm okay with that. Like I can't, but
yeah, I agree.
yeah,
I haven't again bought international. I haven't bought an XM or Prime One, so I haven't had to deal with that, and I haven't gone through Spec Fiction because I don't. He doesn't deal on Sideshow or Iron Studios. I don't believe he doesn't deal in anything that Sideshow sells. So I haven't had to go that route yet. I've dealt with Sideshow. My Catwoman showed up with a chip this week. They're already sending me a new torso. They were great. Marcus in Collector Zone can't sell the exclusives. So like Catwoman, I wanted that exclusive. Batman Who Laughs, I wanted the exclusive, so I had to go Sideshow. Or if he's sold out of it, I had to go Sideshow on the Harley Quinn because he was out of them. But yeah, Collector Zone's getting anything that if I can get it from him, I'm going through him.
Gotcha. Nah, I mean, it's just the extra closet, man, in the basement when I was designing the basement. This was all brick down here, man. So when I threw up the drywall and crap, I was just like, hey, we'll make this a little section over here. So like, you know, it's kind of like you were saying, like with the Star Wars, like it's not really big enough to like do much, but I'm gonna utilize the space for some good old Gotham City, man. Some good old Gotham, man. So speaking of Gotham, like, who's your favorite villain? And also part two of the question, so part one, who's your favorite villain when it comes to Batman rogues? But number two, what villain of Batman do you feel doesn't get enough love in the statue community?
Oh, the statue, that's easy. Two-Face. It blows my mind.
Man.
Like I don't want to disrespect Man-Bat or Clayface. It blows my mind when everybody screams for a Clayface. But Two-Face is almost it's like if Batman went bad, that's what Batman is. Like they were both for justice, they were both for all that.
Yeah.
And bad stuff happened to Two-Face, and this is what he turned into. So casual always finding the sales. Talk about an enabler.
Yeah.
Two-Face is the one that I'd beat the table for the stat. It blows my mind that they have not made a premium format, or I don't know, that he doesn't get more love. Favorite Gotham villain? I mean, if Catwoman's considered a villain, Catwoman.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. They're all great for different reasons. Like Mr. Freeze, you feel bad because he's doing it for his wife. Bane's doing it to prove a point. Scarecrow's doing it because he was bullied. Ivy's doing it to save the planet. I'd feel like Batman villains more than other rogues and other genres or whatever. They just have better backstories. You feel bad for some of them, or you can understand why they're doing what they're doing.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, even Swamp Thing's story is a little crazy and different. Just crazy, man.
Yeah, Swamp Thing gets turned into Swamp Thing. He's in love with Abigail, and Abigail's got to die to beat the bad guy. And yeah, the arcs for Swamp Thing are fantastic.
Yeah. What's the Marvel version of Swamp Thing? Do you remember the character's name?
As we all wait for Luke or Jerry to answer that.
What's the Marvel version of Swamp Thing? Because it's crazy. Like, didn't the freaking Man Thing? Didn't the creators, like, weren't they roommates or something like that? Like, I think
still eagerly look.
Yeah, I think that was a scenario, and it's just crazy that like we have these characters that's just like, what the heck, man? Like, who thinks of Swamp Thing, man?
Yeah, Swamp Thing's just one of my side favorites. He's
Yeah.
right there behind Batman for me.
So, so since Swamp Thing is one of your favorites, I'll lead us into this question here, the power question. Now, out of all the characters that you actually like, and there's only one power you can have of those characters, what character would that be, and which one power would he have? And if you do choose Batman, you can only have one of his utility weapons.
Yeah, see, people have given this answer, and I want to know if this counts as the same
What's up,
thing
Rome?
or different. And it's with Wolverine. Is the anti-aging a power, or does anti-aging and the healing go together? Because if I'm anti-aging but I can get hit by a bus, well then anti-aging doesn't do anything. But like like you see Wolverine
Oh man,
fighting all
yeah,
those wars,
yeah,
and because of his healing power he can last, and
yeah,
he lives the long life. But without the healing power, like, he probably doesn't live the long life.
yeah, yeah,
So if those count as one, then that's what I would go with. If not, I'd
yeah,
probably
yeah,
still
yeah,
take the healing
yeah,
power.
yeah. It'll count as one. It'll count as one. So you would take Wolverine.
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
I can just
okay.
imagine what I'd be able to do with that.
Oh man, dude. If there's one DC person I could take, I think it would honestly be the Flash. I think I'd be the Flash, dude. Like when you watch the TV show, the cartoons, the comics, it's like you're able to do so much with just speed.
I guess, but then again, like, you get hit by the bus running too fast.
But that's the thing though, because of his powers, he heals faster. So he's almost like Wolverine's power as well.
But okay, not to tear the question apart, but so you get speed and healing?
Well, no, because I have the Speed Force, so therefore, hey, I can't control how I'm using it. I can't control how it's being used.
Because I feel like that's like a stone's throw away from, I want to be Superman, where I can fly and stop bullets and everything. It's like,
Edwin says DC Superman's power, Marvel the Silver Surfer the power. Okay, okay,
I
okay.
mean,
So
yeah,
here's
if
a
we're going
follow up
whole
to that.
package, then it's like Superman.
Oh yeah, yeah, Superman. Yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, Superman.
I just
You
dress
get
like Batman and be like Batman's attitude, but have Superman's powers.
with Batman. So Edwin, do you need the board though? Do you need the board? That's all I want to know. Like because if doesn't your power have to be your power? Like shouldn't you not have to have a device, so to say?
Yeah, sometimes it's just for fun.
I
Wolverine
mean,
didn't
but
have to have adamantium claws.
no, but I mean like can Thor fly without the hammer?
I don't-
No. He can't
okay,
fly.
okay,
I'm just saying, he can't fly, man.
yeah.
The point is that if you can only have one power, we can't be like, oh, I need a power. That's like saying Batman saying, yeah, you know, what I mean, I'm really rich, so my power is gonna be my utility belt. Oh, by the way, Alfred, get the Batmobile ready. Like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, what are
Well,
we
that's why
doing?
I feel like some people don't misunderstand the question, but they like take the whole package. That's where, like, he said Superman. I would want Superman for DC, and it's like, well, yeah, if you can have the whole package, like, everybody's gonna pick Superman. Like I said,
Okay,
I'll just
so
have the attitude of Batman and treat people like Batman does, but I'll just hit be invincible.
okay, so we'll re-ask the question again. So you can have any power, Marvel or DC, but don't say anyone that we've already said. So no Superman. Who would it be? No Superman or Batman, by the way. You can have the whole package, good or
Whole
bad.
package, not them.
Not them, just because we've already said them.
I mean, I'd go back to Wolverine, but if we're nixing Wolverine too, Hulk would be interesting off the top of my head, but he's got some
Really,
drawbacks too. I guess you can't
as
really control that. All right, hang on. I'm stupid. I should just be like looking around. Spider-Man would be a cool one.
Yeah, because Hawk, like, I wouldn't want to be like ripping my clothes, waking up naked every time I turn back to David
Well,
Banner, or
don't
I
for,
said David Bruce Banner or whatever.
don't forget the let's see, technically the second Hulk movie where they were getting hot and heavy and his heart rate started to go up and he had to pump the brakes. No relations.
Oh, for who? Hawk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Norton's Hulk
Oh yeah,
movie
yeah, yeah. The
where they
Incredible
start
Hulk.
like they start making out and she wants to take things further and his watch starts beeping and he's like, enough fun. So I think Spider-Man, Deadpool,
Deadpool would be a cool
Deadpool's
one.
very
Yeah,
it's basically Wolverine almost. I mean, you're uglier, but it's very
yeah,
Wolverine-esque. So yeah, it'd be one of those two.
yeah. No, I agree. Jerry says a weird one. He apparently wants to be Mohawk Storm. All right, Jerry, that's interesting.
Storm would be a cool one. I love it when it thunderstorms and rains. Unfortunately for the people around me, it would always be raining and thunderstorming. So
They're like, man, the weatherman said it was going to be sunny today, and Joe's like, sorry,
not today.
not today. That's funny, man. No, that's crazy. I mean, if we're not gonna, okay, X-Men. We'll take it a step further. Who's the greatest leader of all the groups?
This is going to be incredibly biased. People will say that. And it kind of alludes to what you described me as earlier. I vote Batman because of his direct bluntness
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
One of my favorite snippets, it's in the cartoon. I think it might be in the Justice League cartoon where Flash is like kind of panicking. He's like, well, how are we all going to know? We can't know each other's identities. And he literally like, Batman
Oh
takes off his
yeah,
cape and he's like, Barry Allen, Diana, Clark Kent,
yep.
Bruce
Bruce
Wayne.
Wayne, yep.
And he's just like, we're not wasting time with this. Like, I already know. Like,
That's why I liked in the movies with the Ben Affleck one where he already has like the profiles on all of them. Like, yo, I already know you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
yeah, my only knock on that was that, if I remember correctly, Batman doesn't really want to be in the Justice League. Like, he understands the Justice League, but he wasn't. I don't. I mean, Jerry might correct me on this comic wise. Batman, I don't think was the one that was like, "Hey, let's start a gang, guys." He kind of had to be like pushed into it, or they had to like bring him in, and he helps them. Obviously, he's a standing member, but in that movie, it made it seem like it was his idea, and he wanted to get them all together.
Yeah, this comment here, I'm not gonna lie, dude. If this was the power I got stuck with, like, man, you remember how in the X-Men movies, how there's some of them, were going to take the like vaccine or whatever, so they wouldn't have like the power anymore.
Yep.
I'd be like, yeah, sign me up for that, dude. Because like, I eat bugs and I can jump a little bit. Like, what the heck, man?
Yeah. And I like Danny's comment where he says Batman stayed just to keep an eye on the team. And that I feel is correct. And that's why in the movie with Affleck where he's basically going around like, hey, come join my team. I don't think that's how it would have gone, but I get it.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. So, is there any like, what do you want to see next out of the superhero movies, whether that's DC or Marvel? Is there any direction that you feel either company should go, or maybe a character they should kind of scale back a little bit on?
In a broad term, DC needs to literally like Google image Marvel's plan and just copy and paste it. I don't.
No,
I get
no,
that
yeah,
they totally effed up. Marvel got a head start. They did it right, and then DC said, "Let's try and play catch up." We watched how much they made off the Avengers. We're just going to start with Justice League. Like,
yep,
forget all the backstories.
yeah,
And it was a complete mess. Pattinson's Batman needs to be the jumping off point. I
yep,
hate to scrap everybody else, but I'm rebooting all of the other ones even though Godot did fine as Wonder Woman and Momoa was fine as Aquaman, sorry,
Yeah.
DC F'd you. It needs to be Pattinson's Batman as Iron Man 1, and then let's go.
And you know what's crazy about that is, Ray Fisher referring to just the Snyder cut. He actually did a great job as Cyborg. And now I see why he was so upset, because like they didn't portray any of that outside of the Snyder cut.
No.
And the Snyder cut, to me, that's the only way to watch the Justice League movie, personally. I'm not saying the regular versions, anything's wrong with it or nothing like that, but it was so much that was just left out to where it was just like a completely different movie during certain parts.
Yeah, because they botched it all. And they didn't want to be patient. They wanted to rush and play catch up when you had Iron Man come out, and then I think maybe Captain America was next, and there was like 3 or 4 standalones before they brought them together, and then even then they branched back out and had more people come in, and then they came back together, and you could literally copy and paste their plan and have it, instead of Thanos, end with Darkseid or something of that nature. And there's enough villains. Like it pissed me off that they wasted Doomsday the way they did in Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
Like, he should be a monumental villain, and they just were like, they're Batman and Superman are fighting. We need a common enemy. We're gonna give him 20 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
And they just wasted him.
No, yeah, I agree, man. And I felt like with the Snyder cut, the way it ended and the way he had everything leading up, with Martian Manhunter, obviously that could have led to Hawkgirl, Hawkman, and obviously they're having those characters in the new, Black Adam movie and stuff like that, and obviously Shazam 2 is coming, stuff like that. But still, it was just like, that was your turning point right there to just push forward and go forward. But like you said, it's like everything kind of got messed up to where it's like, what are we really doing at this point? You can't rush this stuff, dude. You just can't.
No, and that's what made the Marvel, the Infinity Saga so good, was that they had a plan, and they went through it and just added pieces, and it culminated in the masterpiece that Infinity War and Endgame were. And even as a DC guy, those movies were fantastic.
Yeah, and and I'll say this. I mean, I think with what Marvel is doing, obviously a couple people were sketchy on Eternals and the Ten Rings and stuff like that, just because it was something different, obviously. But I think what they're gonna actually do is lead all this up to Galactus.
Yeah, and people.
Yeah, they have to be built.
They've got to, like, these new ones that they're building with. They can't keep reusing the same ones. Like, Iron Man's dead. Like, we can't keep using the mainstream ones. They've got to bring new blood in.
Yeah.
They're a little boring so far. Ten Rings was okay though.
They've done Silver Surfer and they've done Fantastic Four multiple times, but they've never really done Galactus to where you like actually see him. Like you heard about him with the Silver Surfer, but you didn't see him.
Yeah.
So I feel like everything that they led for Thanos, like who else is bigger than Thanos? It would have to be Galactus.
Yeah, and there has to be an end. There's an end to the script eventually. Like even so, you build to Galactus, and then it's like, and then what? Well, by then you're 25 years in, and we're rebooting the whole thing. Like that's how it works.
Yeah, it can't be like you're telling your grandkids, like, hey, back in my day, this all started.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like one day they're gonna kick it off with a new Iron Man. You're gonna have a new reboot of Iron Man, and that's where I think. There you go. I think Pattinson's Batman can be the jumping off for like DC doing it correctly. I don't think they will, but it could be.
Oh yeah, definitely, man, definitely. It's crazy because if you had to say, like, out of all these movies that either have came out this year or the ones that are coming out well, I mean, I guess you could say a couple weeks would be Spider-Man. You know, anything that's been out in 2021 or coming out in 2022, what either have you seen that you were most excited about, or what is coming that you feel like, you know what, I can't wait for that.
Batman, again, it's bias. The Batman one would be the top. Spider-Man, I will be interested in. I haven't bought tickets yet, but I will definitely see it. I just saw he re-upped for another trilogy too, or Sony re-upped him, which is good. Ten Rings was good. I enjoyed it. I have not watched Eternals.
Yeah, I haven't watched Eternals either. It still seems like a weird cast to me. I'm not saying nobody can act or anything like that. I just feel like the cast itself is just still seems like, damn, they chose those people. It just seems like superheroes would be a little bit younger than me. I don't know why. I don't know.
I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to judge it in that sense. I do think that some actors are now just kind of like wanting their piece of the pie, and they want their name in the Marvel universe. And I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping they don't like allow certain people just to jump in because they want to jump in.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely agree with that. Yeah, man. Man, it's crazy. I know, like, when I think about, all the superheroes and, different movies and directions and stuff like that where people could go, I'm very excited for it. I remember the very first superhero movie I saw in theaters, if I'm not mistaken, was the Hawk, the one with Eric.
The
Damn, I can't
first
even think.
one?
Yeah, I can't even think of his last name. Yeah, um,
Yeah, I saw that one in theaters.
and it was a little different. You know what I mean? It was definitely a little different. That was the first one that I saw in theaters. Um, but we just it seems like we've come a long way. And when I look at the entire MCU, meaning from Endgame and beyond, like, or like Endgame and four beyond, whatever. I think the Incredible Hulk was the best one from an action standpoint.
Are you talking about the Norton one?
Yep.
It was a great standalone movie.
Yeah.
And if they had kept him, I would have been very supportive of that. I heard he was just a total pain in the ass to work with. And that's what got him booted.
Dude, it was just a great movie. Like, there was action nonstop, him fighting Abomination. It was a great movie.
There was
Tons of
good
action.
action. The
Yeah.
end fight was fantastic, and you could
Yeah.
empathize with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He this happened to him. He loved her. Her dad's trying to catch him. And the sacrifices that had to be made. They catch him. They
Yeah.
throw him out of the helicopter to go fight the guy that dad accidentally made.
Yep.
And it was a sweet fight. That was actually probably one of the earlier, like, super good CGI fights.
Jerry says, "Let's just reboot the whole thing. Start with Fantastic Four. It worked the first time." Dude, and speaking of Fantastic Four, I just don't know, like, can this be done right? Like, all jokes aside, like, can Fantastic Four, like, legitimately be done right from a writing, a casting, a visual? Like, can this just be done right? Because the one with Michael B. Jordan, I thought it was actually a pretty cool movie. I just didn't like the visual effects. I didn't.
Yeah. I actually liked the first two. I
I
thought they
did
were
too.
fine.
I did too, man.
I thought they were fine. But isn't that another one like Spider-Man where, like, Sony owns it?
Yeah, I mean, you got to go in the rights and all this other type
Yeah.
of stuff, which
That's
is
that's what
like,
keeps kneecapping them, is that,
yeah,
like, Sony has it, and Sony and Disney came to an agreement with Spider-Man, but they haven't, or they didn't then on any of the other ones. So they were stuck by themselves.
yeah. I don't know. It's just crazy, man. I personally just want some good movies and stuff like that. Is there any Disney movie that you do enjoy watching with your family?
Sure. What genre are we talking here?
Hey, just any Disney movie. A little Blade action.
Is Blade Disney?
I don't know. It's Marvel. So it just came to my head. So just ignore me.
Anybody in the chat, feel free to correct that. But I feel like that's not Disney.
I'm pretty sure it's not. We're just gonna edit that out.
I don't know. I mean, we watch superhero movies all the time on Disney Plus. I watch Star Wars movies all the time on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a 6-year-old. We're constantly watching Disney Plus, whether it's TV shows or movies.
So were you a Mighty Duck kid growing up?
Yeah.
Because they have the Mighty Ducks on there, and they start like a new TV show.
Yep.
You should
Didn't
probably
watch
check
it.
that out.
Don't
there,
care.
Man.
I
You didn't
like
watch
the.
it.
I didn't watch the new one. I've watched the originals, and we actually watch those every once in a while. I toss them on TV every once in a while.
Let it go.
Frozen. I've seen my fair share of Frozen.
Oh, I think we all have, man. That's played a lot, man.
Yeah.
Elsa, man.
She's finally at the age where if we go to the movies, she'll sit through the whole movie. So that's nice.
Yeah. Dude, like my best movie story was we went to the movie and it was like some animal movie and like we just kept getting hot dogs. Like for whatever reason this day, the movie theater hot dogs were like really good. And I don't know if it was because they were half off, so it was just like, it tasted a little bit better, you know what I mean? But anyways, like they were just really good. And I just looked at you and I'm like, hey, you want a hot dog? He's like, yeah, I want a hot dog, Dad. I'm like, oh man, that was cool, man. That was cool.
Yeah, we always end up with like nachos, and
Yeah.
my kid will eat chips until she'd eat a whole bag.
Hey, that's cool, man. Nothing's wrong with that one, man. So that is definitely cool. Let's see here, man. So I'm gonna get to this to one of my final questions. One of the final questions. So, out of everything that you've known so far, heading into a different stage of collecting to where you're not buying any and every single thing you see. Like, just because it's on sale doesn't mean, hey, I gotta pick it up. Because, as we know, hey, just because it's $30 off doesn't mean I'm really saving $30. I'm still spending $30.
Usually a lot more.
Yeah, usually definitely a lot more. What would you say is the next phase of your collection? Is it just making sure it's the right scale, the right price? Like, what's that next evolution to you as a collector?
Keep working on patience. Swamp Thing's a good one. It's like, okay, if you think the XM one is better and the price isn't right on the sideshow, don't rush the sideshow just because you want a Swamp Thing. Like, I don't need it right now. The space will still be there. Next phase, I got some vacant spots. Things will come in. Yeah, I mean, you and Saba have me on the art prints now, but I'm more particular than you guys are. I don't have as much wall space as you guys do. I've got that Joker coming. I'll have a little more space, but I still want some Marvel ones up. Like I've got the Infinity and Endgame posters up. Those will stay up because half the room. I mean, I still have 4 DTOFs of Marvel stuff, so I can't go all DC on the walls.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, you gotta go with what you like. You gotta go with what you like. So this is actually my favorite part of the show, and I don't know why, but it's just my favorite part of the show. So those of you guys in the comments who've seen episode 1 through 7 so far, I believe you guys should probably know where we're headed at right now. So Joe, we're gonna go ahead and take a drive down the yellow brick road. Go ahead and strap your seatbelts on and just take a look. It's not gonna be sunny today. It's actually gonna be stormy because Joe likes the rain. So if you're driving through Montana, headed your way to, I don't know, Seattle or whatever's near Montana. And then we're coming up on the Mount Rushmore. Obviously, it's not in Montana, but we're taking a weird road trip today, okay? A very weird road trip. Now, we look at baseball. We got Joe DiMaggio, Babe Ruth, David Ortiz, pretty much anybody that's... Whoa, what was it? Was it look there for? What was it look there for, Joe?
I wouldn't have put David Ortiz on that. And as a
whoa,
Red Sox, and hang on, I'm not done yet. And as a Red Sox fan, true fan, the fact that you listed 2 Yankees first is alarming.
Did Babe Ruth not play for the Red Sox?
Okay, on technicality, but I'm pretty sure he's in the Hall of Fame as a Yankee, and you used him
Hey,
as a pitcher.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. Apparently, this is a weird road trip that we're taking, so we'll move over.
That'd be like the Buckeyes claiming Joe Burrow. Be like, oh, Buckeye went number 1. Be like, no, he was an LSU Tiger. Like
He
transferred away from you.
Okay. All right. So, football guys: Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Jerome Bettis. You name it, man. The Mount Rushmore is a question that we're gonna get to right now. Sports, it's always a very good topic of who's gonna be on that Mount Rushmore, and it's crazy because like when you think of sports or statues,
You were safe to stay away from babasketball. I
oh,
felt
definitely.
I felt an argument coming on between me, you, and probably Chasen about the basketball one. So
We can go to basketball. We can definitely
it's
go to
probably
basketball.
safer not to.
But I mean, the crazy thing about it on any Mount Rushmore, even whether it's presidential, whether it's statues, sports, it's only 4, and no matter what category, it's more than 4 people. Even if you do coaches, it's
Yeah.
more than 4 coaches, right? I mean, it's more than 4. So let's go ahead and bring up Joe's 4, which is kind of crazy if you ask me. I mean,
It is a little.
it's not my list, so I can't say, but
Yeah, and first off, I'd like to take just a second. What's up, Marcus? Collector Zone in the house. He showed up. Always
there's
always
someone in the
happy.
building, man.
All right, Mount Rushmore. I took this as just 4 statues that catch my eye.
Yep.
That if you had a bunch of statues in a room, these ones are going to be the ones that get my attention. It doesn't mean I'm buying them all, because 2 in particular, they just wouldn't go well in here. But these statues, I just think are fantastic. The first one is the Iron Studios Joker. We went over it before. The Capullo head sculpt, the fact that it comes with the second head sculpt that can make it still a really good regular Joker, and then the showman pose. Those are all big deals to me. I think that going out on a limb, and I'm going to catch heat on this, I think it is the best Joker statue out there. And the Bermejo people are screaming at the moment, and he does a much more realistic look.
All right, everybody. This show is brought to you by Snickers.
Yeah.
When you're hungry.
just not my pick. I prefer the Iron Studios one. I'm not saying the Bermejo is bad. It's still a great statue. It's just not my pick for the Joker.
You know how when you've done something wrong, you keep talking?
I don't think I did anything wrong. I just know. I've heard the argument. I've had the argument. I know there's going to be people that disagree. All good. That Joker is on my Mount Rushmore.
No, yeah, nothing's wrong with that. All jokes aside, from a 1/3 perspective, I do personally agree. I do feel like this is the best Joker. I just don't understand the dead zombie look on the other one. To me, that's how I interpret it myself. So I do agree with you on this one here, being your first person on the Mount Rushmore.
The second one would be the Xm Dark Phoenix. This statue, we would on the casual show. You could show me a whole room, and if this is in there, I will be drawn to it. It's the phoenix behind her, the colors. I think this statue is just fantastic. There's not too much to be said about it. It's just that statue is nice.
Yeah. So would you would own this one as a standalone? You're basically saying.
If I found this one at the right price and I had money set aside that wasn't on other POs, yeah, absolutely. I say it wouldn't fit in my room as it stands because obviously the DC stuff is the big stuff. But if you had this or Casual had this and you're like, hey guys, I think I'm moving it on. I got it for a great price. I'll give it to you at a great price. Yeah, I'd buy that and just stick it there, and people would be like, "Why do you have one X-Men piece?" And I'd be like, "Because it's effing sweet. That's why."
I mean, hey, if there's only one to have, I mean, it is Phoenix, so like,
Yeah, she's a sweet character. I love the storyline of her. It's one of the few Marvel ones that I actually kind of paid attention to, but this statue is just gorgeous to me.
right, definitely, man.
As I
Great
joke
number
that
two, man.
as I joke that she would be a standalone X-Men, the next one is also X-Men. It is the Xm Magneto.
Yeah,
I love this one. I love when he's catching the missile. I couldn't tell you why he's in the white uniform. I know we just saw one the other day where they had it custom painted to the traditional.
yeah.
I think the white looks classy because white always looks classy on people. But this is another one that just like the metal tearing up around him. He's catching the missile out in front of him. I know some people don't put the missile on him. I think sometimes because they're worried they'll like run into it, or where they have it displayed, they don't want to hit it. Totally makes sense. But I just like the Dark Phoenix. I think this statue is just a perfect Magneto to me.
No, this is by far the best Magneto that's currently out. I'd say maybe it'll be topped, but that's currently out. I think this is the best one with everything you're getting. This is a great third piece on the Mount Rushmore, man.
Yep. And fourth, this one took me a little while to think on, but it's got to be the Batcave. There's not a better Batman, and Marcus knows I was this close on ordering this one, and I just
Do
really
it.
want to. I really want a black version, which would be my honorable mention, and I pray they make it. Everyone says they will because they always do like blue and then release black, and I
Yeah.
will day one be on a black version. But I think this is similar to the other ones. This is the best Batman I think that they've made.
Do you like how the bats are like that? Like, do you feel like that would be a problem over time?
I don't know if it'll be a problem over time. I don't know how secure they are in there.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it in person or obviously put one together. I know people, that's the number one complaint is that the bats are a total pain in the ass.
yeah.
And hopefully Prime One heard that. And when they come out with the black version, they're color coded. Maybe it'll help me out. Yeah, I just think that's the best Batman that they have made.
And
Ah,
speak for yourself, Joe. What's up with this, man?
I didn't put the Swamp Thing on there. Well, I can't say the Prime one is the best one when I think the XM one is going to be the one that I get. I was torn on Swamp Thing. I thought about Swamp Thing. Yeah, I mean, Joe's got a point. I guess, yeah, I'll take that one in the face by Jerry. He punched me in the eye on that one. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's funny, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, but the Batcave, I just think it's the best Batman out. I'll get it when the black version comes out. Yeah, I'm happy that you're getting it. Everybody that's got it has loved
Yeah,
it. I will never use the light up feature. I can tell you that now.
I will admit that too. Like okay, I'm great that it's there, but I don't see like it's like it's one of those things. It's like kind of like why is it there? But
There so they can charge a little more,
well, I mean,
and
I
it's
know
a
that
it's a
part, but
cool
yeah,
feature. But nobody walks into their collection and is like, okay, I'm going to turn this one on, and now this one on, and now this one on, and now this one on, and then when I leave the room, I'm going to turn this one off and this one off. Like it just doesn't happen. Like you're not going to do it.
no,
Most people don't even put the batteries in because they're worried about corrosion.
yeah. And when you do put them in, like turn them on, it's literally just to take a picture.
Yeah. So
That's it.
yeah, I'll never. I would have rather it not light up and them save me like whatever the wiring costs, like $100.
I do agree with
Exactly.
that because with the
If
Predators, they don't even tell you the type of batteries they take, and most of them don't take like the traditional batteries you can like get at your supermarket. You have
Yep.
to literally like Google, hey, what's A1465-8? What does that, what's this? And it's like, come on,
Yep.
man.
But as much as a plug would piss me off, it would be great because I could plug it into the smart plugs. And when I walk in
Ooh,
and
yeah.
ask Alexa to turn the room on, I have to be careful so she doesn't turn it off. Um,
Yeah.
then it would turn on, and that would be cool. But yeah, I'm not walking around flipping on all the switches or flipping the statues upside down.
Old school, man.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, they might make clapper smart plugs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool, man. If Thor has that, like, I think that's really cool. That would be cool to come down here and be like, hey, activate the man cave or whatever. Like that'd be cool. I know some people have stuff like that,
Yeah,
but um,
the first person I saw that had it was again Big Dub, who's actually the one that told me to get into Iron Studios, and he just walks into his arcade and asks it to turn on, and all of his displays turn on, and it was great. It beats a remote. Not dissing the remote. I had remotes at one point, but yeah, just like walking each display, turning them on. It just you didn't do it.
yeah, man, yeah. So Joe, what is next in the collection to close out the year? Hopefully, if anything does come in, or possibly January of next year.
Batman Who Laughs, right there. That'll finish off that top shelf. Uh, what a tease. A bunch of ours said processing, and then now they don't say processing, and now they say December, January. We all thought, like, oh shit, it's processing. We're going to get it. And even though BSC brings up a good point, they still have yet to show it in person.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Thanks for coming on, Matt. Good times.
Damn, that's
Yep,
crazy, dude.
all my friends, they all like the Dungeons and Dragons.
Dude, I was like watching. I was watching on Collecting Weekly. Watching them play a couple games and stuff, and I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, actually, like, dude, I was watching, like, seeing like what they're doing and stuff like that, and yeah, it kept me entertained, dude. I will say that definitely kept me
It
entertained.
it is not at the top of my list of things to do, but I've had the same core group of friends since
Yeah,
like middle school, and all of them were playing every Saturday at one of the guys' houses, and I was like, next time you guys start one, I'll play. And it's just like if all your friends are doing it, clearly, and you're
oh
friends
man,
with them.
this dude, this dude. Look, read this comment, man. What the frick? You gotta love Buck, man. You gotta love Buck, dude. You gotta love Buck, man. That's crazy, dude. What's good to a couple people either just
Oh,
commenting now or tuning in, man? What's
thanks
good,
for
man?
coming.
Yeah, what's good? Guys, do not forget about Chinese New Year. That is 2 weeks delay alone. Yeah.
Hopefully, the Batman Who Laughs is already on his way and in America. I'm hoping it's not affected.
Yeah, man. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Man, this is crazy, man. It's starting this up 8 weeks, well, 9 weeks ago, because obviously the Thanksgiving bye week was definitely crazy, man. To go to episode 1 to 8 now, it's definitely been cool. I appreciate everybody for tuning in and stopping by and being supportive from then to now. Joe, has been a great conversation with you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Def- yeah, man, definitely learned a little bit more about you outside of collecting. It's crazy to think, Star Wars was really, it was basically Star Wars and sports. That's definitely cool, man, and obviously Jurassic Park. But like we said, man, hey, who doesn't like dinosaurs, right? Like, who doesn't like
Everybody.
dinosaurs?
If I had
Exactly,
if
man.
I had another room in the house, it would be a Jurassic room.
And the crazy thing is, there's some great statues from Prime One and Iron Studios of Jurassic Park, dude.
What's funny is like a year ago, I looked at some of those Iron Studios ones, and I was like, "Oh my god, that Tyrannosaurus Rex or that Mosasaurus is sweet, but God, I would never spend that much on a statue. You're crazy."
Yeah,
And then now it's like, damn it, if that was in stock, I'd order it.
yeah,
Oh, how
that's
we've
what I'm
come in a
saying, man.
year. Thanks, Marcus. Same.
Chasen, before we get out of here, I got a quick question for you. List your Mount Rushmore of basketball players. We'll end it on that. We will end it on that. So, Chasen, go ahead and give me 4 basketball players right now. And while we are waiting...
Let's just talk about the omission. Let's just beat around the bush. The omission will be LeBron James. LeBron James is going to finish his career with a minimum of 4 championships on 3 teams and is probably going to end as the all-time leading scorer. I'm just saying, the dude should be on the Mount Rushmore. I'm not saying he's better than Jordan, although we'll keep that opinion quiet. I'm just saying he deserves to be on the Mount Rushmore.
My only question for the Mount Rushmore of basketball is, are we basing it off of any player, or is it positional, air?
Buck.
I guess that's my only thing. Like, is it, you know what I mean? Is it positions, or it doesn't matter?
I don't think about it in positions, and it is tough for me to
My man.
to talk. I mean, Wilt, off the top of my head, like, Wilt was a freak. But I never saw Wilt, obviously. A bunch of these guys I never saw. So it's like Kobe, fantastic. MJ, fantastic. LeBron, fantastic. Shaq, fantastic.
Hey, you know what? I'll say this: Jordan, Kobe. Jordan, Kobe. Allen Iverson. I don't care. He ain't got a ring. Steph Curry, let's go.
That breaks my heart.
Shaq is my honorable mention at number 5, man.
That breaks my heart.
Yep.
But it's okay.
Hey, it's been. Okay, let's see this. Let's see what we got, man. So he said, Casual says no Scottie Pippen. We not even gonna talk about that. Steph Curry with the shot. Danny says Manute Bol. Like, what the hell? All right, Danny, what the hell? Freak. Jordan, Kobe. Okay, Jordan, Bird, Kobe. Not sure of the 4th. Hey, you definitely gotta put Larry Legend in there. That's cool, man.
That's why it's so tough on basketball. You'd almost have to go like a Mount Rushmore for each position because it's tough. Because you got like Kobe, like you got Magic and Iverson, and there's so many great guys.
I'll say this, right? Magic Johnson, point guard. Michael Jordan, shooting guard. Power forward, we're gonna say Tim Duncan. Center, we're gonna say Shaq. Small forward. Damn it. Somebody give me Dominique Wilkins.
Okay, well, my top 5 is going to wipe your top 5, I guess.
I'm not going to say LBJ.
Well, we're not even going to get to that. I like how you put Steph Curry on your Mount Rushmore, but you didn't just list him on your top 5 in your starting lineup.
So I got to put Steph over Magic? Like, come on now. That's Magic.
But then Magic should be on. How did you just list your top 5 and you didn't even have your Mount Rushmore guys?
Now we just said positional. So if it's positional, KD,
No,
Magic.
there's no way KD's on there and not LeBron. Like I'm picking LeBron over KD all day.
Hey, I'll take. All right, man. This is gonna go on all night. This is gonna go.
Yeah, this is a whole new stream. We need to have a sports with Cash. We'll come back next week.
Yeah, man. We'll definitely have like a. I'll tell you guys what. This is what we'll do, man. We'll get together a couple people, like, you know, maybe during the NBA playoffs or something, and we'll just have like our talk show about sports or something, man, during the playoffs or something, man.
Sure, talk show. I feel a lot of yelling coming on.
The World Series or something. That's what we should have did during the World Series. I know Astro was into that pretty much with Atlanta winning.
Thank God Houston lost.
Oh boy, cheaters. Anyways,
Yep.
It took you and never mind, Casual. Like, seriously, you thought Iverson was going to be tall, dude?
You know who's taller in person than I expected was Derrick Rose.
Really?
Like, you see some of those guys. I went, the Cavs and the Bulls played a preseason game in Columbus, and I got really, really good tickets. I think we were like third row. And those guys on TV, like the centers make the point guards look really small. And you see some of those guys in person,
Yeah.
you're like, those dudes are effing huge.
Big, yeah. Definitely,
and
man.
and I'm
Definitely.
6'2", and you see like Varejao and and Derrick Rose moves so fast in person, like end to end, and you're like, God, it's like he took 3 steps.
Definitely, man. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy, man. Well, guys, it's been real. It's been real. Next week's episode will certainly be a surprise for episode 9.
Ooh, I
This
don't
has
even
been
know.
I don't even know. I don't even know, man.
Taking volunteers now.
Yeah, man. But episode 8 of the Cashing Out Show with Vane21. I appreciate you being here again, bro. It's definitely been a pleasure having a nice chat with you. Everybody out there in the chat who subbed tonight or who just came on and chatted with us, we certainly appreciate you guys, man.
Yep. Thank
like
you,
I said,
everybody.
yeah, thank you to everybody. It's been real, and you guys always keep us laughing in the comments, so I definitely appreciate you guys. And just remember one thing, man. If you're going to buy something and you aren't for sure, the number one thing you can do is just say, press the complete button and cash out.
Put some cash in your life, put some cash in your life.